Hi, I'm Stacy Sutter with Summit VA Solutions. We here at Summit are a virtual assistant company, and all of us work from home. What we wanted to do today was help you all who are transitioning from working in an office to working at home. And one of the biggest questions that we get asked on a daily basis is, how do you stay focused and productive with all the distractions that are going on in your house? Well, let me share 5 things that we've come up with that'll help you stay focused and productive. First and foremost, you're going to need a calendar. Now, it can be like the book calendar with the pages in it. It can be the calendar you hang on the wall. Or, in my case, I use one of the digital online calendars. If I didn't have my Google Calendar, my world would be completely shot. I know, it sounds strange. I have a virtual executive assistant who has access to my calendar. They put my schedule in there. They schedule phone calls for me in there. And it allows me to quickly look and see where I have spaces open that I can be productive or I can call somebody back. The great thing about the digital online calendars is you can access them from your phone or your desktop. So that all of us are carrying a smartphone nowadays, so there's no excuse for you to be late as long as you have an online calendar. The next topic that you need to look at, or the next item you need to look at, is accountability. And I know it sounds kind of funny, and a lot of you have said, I've never had an accountability partner. What is that? It's very, very simple. It's just someone who you tell what you're going to do today. I know, it sounds kind of dumb, doesn't it? But think about it. A lot of you, hundreds of thousands of you, have been working in an office where you're accountable to a manager, a supervisor, a team lead. You don't have that accountability anymore. And if your companies are smart, they're setting up online accountability so you can check in with your manager, your supervisor, or your team lead right now. But if you don't have that, get an accountability partner. They don't have to be in your industry. They don't even have to know about anything about what you do. But it's someone who you can tell, this is what I'm going to do today. This is my goal. This is the direction I'm heading. And at the end, they're going to ask you, did you make it? Did you do what you set out to do today? I have an accountability partner, and she started out as my executive assistant. She's now the vice president of our operations. And 9 years later, I start every morning with, this is what I have to accomplish today. What else do you have for me to accomplish? One of them for today was to make this video. And I can't leave until I have got everything on my list accomplished. Talking about list, you need to have a written list. As you can see behind me, I work really, really well with a really large whiteboard. It keeps all track of all of our coming events that we're going to go to. And it also allows me to monitor big projects that I maybe don't touch every day. For day to day, I know it's old school, but on every day today, I just use a simple yellow tablet. It sits right here beside my desk. It allows me to jot down notes during a conference call. It allows me to jot down questions I want to ask. It makes me put down things that I need to have added to my calendar. So it's really helpful. And at the end of the day, that page gets torn off. I make sure everything's been done. Everything on my accountability list has been marked off, and it goes in the paper shredder. Nobody needs to know what's on your list, unless you want them to. The next thing you're really going to need is a specific area in your home to work at. Now, for me, I happen to be fortunate enough, I built the building you're seeing. It's 10 by 12. It houses my desk, my computer. You can see the copy scan fax machine over my shoulder, my big whiteboard, and this is where I've worked for the last 5 years. I run a multi-million-dollar corporation out of a 10 by 12 building in my backyard. I have a 22-foot commute from my back door to the front door of my little tiny office. Now, you need to carve out a space in your home where you can work every day. You need it to be as quiet as possible, although some background and ambient noise is always helpful because you're used to that in the workplace. You need a computer, you need telephone access, you need internet access, and you need, if you can get it, copy scan fax machine. It's really, really nice to be able to scan and print documents if that's what you would usually do in your regular job when you were working at the office. So once you get that area, everybody in your family needs to know and understand that when you're there, you're working. It's not time to come up and talk about, how much toilet paper we have stocked up, or, where we're at as far as, what we need from the grocery store, what we're going to do this weekend, whatever. Nope. That's the time when you need to know you're working. They need to understand that you have to work. And when you're in this space, that's what you do. For me, when I walk out the door of my little building, I leave my office day behind. You need to be able to get up from that space and leave your work behind. And speaking of that, if you would typically start your workday at 8 a.m., that's when you need to start now. If you work for like an 8 to 5 schedule, that's what you need to work. And when you get to 5 o'clock, you need to be done for the day. Tidy up things, finish up whatever you have to, but you need to stay on schedule as much as possible. And finally, the last thing that we recommend is pop-up reminders. For me, I'm fortunate in the fact that I have a virtual administrator who comes online and reminds me, I've got a meeting in 30 minutes and this is the subject. I've got a call to make in 10 minutes, those kind of things. There are a lot of products on the market that you can install in your computer that will allow the same thing. As a matter of fact, depending on what calendar program you have, it may actually be able to set reminders there for you. And that way, if you're working on something else, bing, it comes on and says, hey, you got a call in 5 minutes. Those are important things to have. You can't be late. You got to be on time, because those online meetings, whether they are teleconferences or video conferences, those are your link to your industry, your world, and your company. So never miss those. Well, that pretty well ends this one. We are going to continue to do these videos, so be on the lookout for the next one. Remember, folks, this is not going to last forever. So the more you can do right now to stay in the same routine that you do Monday through Friday when you go off to your office, everything you can do to duplicate that experience, you need to try to do at home. Because 1, it's going to make it easier when you go back to the job place. 2, you're going to stay productive at home. And finally, 3, it will help to reduce the distractions you have while you're working from home. So hang in there. Things will get better. And know that if you need us, we are here for you whenever you need help. Thanks so much and take care.